Hi, welcome to Homeless Haven. Today in our homeless cooking segment we'll make some barbecue ribs and we'll have a visit from Captain Kai and of course some music. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Homeless Haven, the only show produced in a teepee behind an embankment next to the expressway. I'm your host, BJ Ganya, and something that a lot of people have been talking about today is gun control. And the reason they've been talking about it is because one man recently killed another man and claimed that he did so in self-defense. These two men were in a physical fight at the time, but only one of them was carrying a handgun. The one who killed the other. Now, he was subjected to a trial and was found innocent. And many people believe that that decision was correct because of the danger of being killed in a physical fight. And that he perhaps was saving his own life by killing another man. But they also, those who agree with that decision, believe that it's unfortunate that society has judged this man outside of the justice system, and society has judged him harshly, and that instead of being free, he will be subjected to a future of condemnation by those around him. I wonder if the tables were turned, what the situation would be. If instead he had been murdered. Of course, the killer would have been judged harshly by society and by the justice system. But the likelihood of someone dying in a physical fight is much less than someone who is shot. And if there was no handgun in that situation, perhaps no one would have died. And perhaps someone might have been injured, but the person who was responsible for that would have been held accountable. A couple of guys who I look to answer the question about gun control are a couple of guys who are on probation, a couple of guys who drove around a souped up Plymouth, and they were straightening the curves and flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get them, but the law never will. They didn't need to use guns. Instead, they used a bow and arrow. This weapon is capable of the same killing as a handgun, except I feel as though it's a much more noble weapon. And the killing that this weapon usually accomplishes is for hunting. And it's as much capability killing as I think any of us need. Instead, some people say that we need to try to arm ourselves against our own government. But I think that this idea is outdated if it was ever considered in the past, because there's no way for us to achieve the same kind of power that our government possesses. There's no way for us to possess nuclear weapons. And so to believe that by accumulating the power to kill in the form of devices whose only purpose is to end human life, to believe that that is going to protect you against the might of the government, it's a false belief. And instead, I think the only way to battle something that is incapable of being defeated, even the government of another country on this earth is incapable of defeating our government in a battle. The only way to fight that kind of force is through the pursuit of peace, peaceful methods. And the difference between being willing to die for a cause and being willing to kill for a cause is the difference that people like Gandhi made, the difference that people like Martin Luther King Jr. made. And this is the pursuit that we must make. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We'll have some music in our program, of course, and in our homeless cooking section coming up next, we'll make some barbecued ribs. So stay tuned.
Explorer